What separates me from a lot of people is they go into a daunting task, and the task is overwhelming. Like when I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking this record, people are like, oh my God. I went right to a pen and paper. Like, what are you doing? I'm doing the math, man. What are you talking about? I'm open-minded to the fact that, okay, if I do 5 pull-ups in a minute for so many hours, I can get so many pull-ups in. How much time do I have to rest? I was breaking the math down. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen. So that's why my eyes and my body light up about things, because I know that if you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you. That's what I realized. I was never breaking the soul of anything in front of me. So that's why I came up with a thing called Taking Souls in my book. I don't follow people who talk about what they used to do in life. I don't give what you used to do. I don't care that, you used to be the best mother. I don't care. What are you doing today? You may not be that person now, but what are you still doing to try to excel in life? And a lot of people now are talking. I hear so much talk. I don't hear a lot of work. I hear a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, how you should be living. And I look at them and you're fat, you're out of shape, you look like shit, but you're telling them how to live. No, man, I won't listen to you. There's so many people speaking this shit, and that's what bothered me a lot in the military. There's a lot of people talking shit. I don't see the real suffering behind it, behind what you're saying. That's why everybody said, man, you talk with so much passion because it's a real place. It sucks to get up in the morning time. It was raining like cats and dogs. I don't want to get my shoes on and go run. But guess what? I got my shit on and ran. If you want to be great, want to be best mother ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, that's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you can't Google that, man. You're alone. You may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day when you're alone in this brain. It's those times when even the hardest motherfuckers in the world are looking around for guidance. It's that one motherfucker. Be that one motherfucker. When even you're saying to yourself, boy, this sucks. I don't want to be here right now. Be that guy who finds the courage and say, you know what, man? Let's do this. Even me right now to talk to you, I'm in the car for an hour getting pumped up because I'm a shy, introverted, leave me alone type of guy. I'm still that motherfucker who is 6 years old, at a play, who can't say his line because I know I'm going to stutter in front of 5 people. So I walk off the stage. That's still me. People think, oh my God, man, you're on a podcast. You look so crazy, so evil. No, I'm trying to be locked into Joe so my mind isn't veer off saying, let's run out the damn door because people are watching me on the podcast. I want to open the damn door and get the hell out of here, man. So that's the real me. I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. It's the worst pain I could ever be in my life. I sat in that tub. She called my mom up. My mom was dating a doctor at the time. The doctor said, you need to get him to a hospital now. So she said, I'm taking to the doctor. I said, no, let me sit here and enjoy this pain. I never thought it was humanly possible to do what I did. I went 70 miles. And at 70 miles, I was dead. I was at 100%, what I thought was 100%. I went 31 more miles after being in the worst physical shape I've ever been in my life. It was the most amazing moment of my entire life. I had 2 heart surgeries also. So I had a hole in it. You're not supposed to have a hole in your heart and be a SEAL. So the hole was significantly large.
Like how big?
They say it was as big as a quarter. I'm like, how the hell is it big as a quarter? Yeah, that's a pretty big hole in your heart.
It's just amazing that you were able to do all that with a hole in your heart.
That's what the doctors were saying. What's your biggest fear in life? I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. Let's say you're God. And we have a big long line of people. And I made it to heaven. 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you are judging us all now. And I'm next in line. David Goggins. I see my name. I see all this shit. God goes, hey, read this, man. And I'm reading this list and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be. Let's say there's 10 people in this room and we're all mediocre, but I'm the best of the mediocre people. I now think I'm great. We surround ourselves around people that make us feel great. They tell us what we want to hear. The second we put ourselves amongst the uncommon people, we don't like that feeling. That challenge and feeling of that person waking up 3:30 in the morning and saying, hey, push your shit on, we're going for a run. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, you know what, man, I don't feel good today. And they say, oh, it's okay, brother. Take the day off, man, we'll get a pizza and go out to dinner. We like that. We don't want that motherfuckers like this. Hey, man, no, bro. Get your shit on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. We want that person who's constantly, making us feel nice and good and secure in ours. That's the mediocrity of life. If you want to be great, you want to be best motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you arrived. Going into combat, going into war, out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even can be there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. Get back to work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all noise. Get back to the mental lab. Because that's where the knowledge came from. These people who hate on people, I've studied them. And I gained a lot of knowledge from them. I gained a lot of knowledge for myself when I was in that dark place. Back in the day, when I was sometimes getting bullied or in a dark place, sometimes that would have bothered me. How I would want to clap back. I would want to be on there all day explaining myself to people. And how now I'm in a place now where I can hear it. I can actually know where it's coming from. So I don't just listen to it and make fun of it. I actually study it because I was once that negative person. I was once that person who saw someone successful and didn't see how can I get there. I was like, oh, they're probably cheating or they're probably doing this. I was that negative person because I wasn't there and I didn't want to work to get there.
It's almost like reflecting an older version of you back to yourself.
100%. Lifting weights, people don't get it, man. It's not like lifting weights. It's like, we go and do so many reps. People go, oh, you're only doing, it was 90 something pounds on the incline. Motherfucker, do 5 sets of 25 with a superset of push-ups, superset of curls, superset of pull-ups, superset of triceps, superset of, what else was it? I forget what it was. It's a superset, man. So we're going through lifting lightweight, but for massive, massive amounts of reps. And so you're totally swollen. And it's just some of the best workouts in the world between me and him. The biggest question I get is, so when do you rest? When do you recover? Yeah. And I don't want to scare people, but the truth answer is, I don't take any days off.
No days.
No days.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Well, what is a normal day?
Normal day for me, a normal day. So let's say a light day.
Light day.
Light day is at least a 7-mile run. I will every other day, so about 4 days a week, calisthenics plus gym workout. So I don't do any gym workout without hitting pull-ups, push-ups. I call it nickels and dimes. So 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, or I'll go, quarters and whatever, it's 25 pull-ups and 50 push-ups. So I have all these different things I messed up. So I will do weights with calisthenics. And every single night I stretch. That's what's disappointing for me, for other people. It's not that I want to live there. I know I can go there. And once again, I know other people can go there. So I guess that's the thing with me is I know I have the ability now to go to a place that's very, very hyper-focused, that I can accomplish some pretty amazing feats. Not because I'm amazing, because I allowed my mind to be open-minded for the possibilities of what can I achieve. It takes the growth in your mental aspect, in your spiritual, everything grows because you start feeling better about yourself. Not many things on the planet make you feel good about yourself like getting after it, doing something that challenges you mentally and physically every day. You cannot live in that normal mindset. You must be your best on your worst day. And how you do that is you cannot think of a normal mindset. You cannot have a normal mindset. My big takeaway of life is if you're constantly taking the easy way out, you're never going to callous your mind. I was a chameleon living in life who could barely get by. So I know that they were taking the normal mindset of people. They weren't talking about the 1%ers, the people who want it like there's no tomorrow. It's unreal how much time you waste during the day. And most of it is on these computers, phones, Instagramming back and forth, whatever the heck you call it nowadays, tweeting and texting and shit. We waste so much time on our little gadgets. It's unreal. And we talk about we have no time. Write down this one day. Everything you do, write that down. And you're like, my God, I am wasting so much time on frivolous bull. Not even funny. If it doesn't infuriate you, it should. Because there's so much time. I can't get it in. Look at your schedule. You just wasted 7 hours today on bullshit. I mean, and you don't have an hour a day to try to get something in for yourself. I guarantee everybody can find an hour. I don't care what you believe in. It doesn't matter. I'm not judging anybody. Let's say my thing is God. You get to heaven, I'm 300 pounds, I sit down, and we're sitting down just like this. You're God and I'm David. And he gives me that chart. And he says, look at this. Now look at this chart, and on the chart it has all these different things, but my name's on it. But these things aren't me. I was going to change the world. I was going to set records. I was going to be a Navy SEAL. I was going to be honored here, honored there. And I'm like, God, this isn't me. Like it says David Goggins, it says all these things. And God goes, no, that's who you were supposed to be. My biggest fear in life is if there is a final resting place in this world and you talk to something much bigger than me. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone that says, you're in heaven. This is what you should have been on earth. Well, your first thing, like you're fighting, we all have two people. We all have two people. And I'm not saying you're crazy. We have the easy voice, which is that 20% telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice that's that mommy holding you saying it's going to be okay. Doesn't care how good you are, just loves you. Just loves you no matter how messed up you are in life. That's where you want to be at. So that's that one voice. This other voice that we walk very far away from is the voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So we try to get this voice out of our head completely. And we live over here in this lane. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. That it's in our head saying, you know what, man? Dude, you're not doing shit. They see me now as the guy that with his shirt off who can do 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours, who can run 205 miles in 39 hours, who can do all this crazy. But what they don't understand is they don't understand the journey that it took me to get to this point. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sorts of powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your brain. So when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. But I don't respect it. So when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. But I don't respect a lot of people. Because how am I going to respect you, anybody, if you're not grinding? And I don't mean working out, getting in the gym. Really going out there and grinding. So if you don't know how I'm living my life, how am I going to respect you? So you have to be a hard worker, period, dot. You got to work your ass off. That's where I gain respect for you. So if you're working hard every day, now you have an opinion in my eyes. But if you're just a guy who talks shit and you live this life of talking shit, come on, dude. I understand one thing. You're just talking shit. But if I see you every fucking day of your life trying to be better, every day, going through all the wickets to be better, you got my attention. I respect you now. People have talent, and this is going beyond your talent. When there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once their talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. That whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. And they realize, man, why am I always messing up right here? It's because you're performing to your talent. And then after that, your mind has nothing for you. I see fighters, I see runners, I see people who they're great, but they get to the edge of their talent. It's like, man, what's up? Because you're now at the point now where your talent ain't gonna do shit for you, my friend. Now it's the mental game. And that's where people get lost in life, get lost in that next level. And that next level is found for me in the things that I do. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and read and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sorts of powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your brain. So when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. But I don't respect a lot of people. Because how am I going to respect you, anybody, if you're not fucking grinding every day? And I don't mean working out, getting to the gym. Really going out there and grinding. So if you don't know how I'm living my life, how am I going to respect you? So you have to be a hard worker, period, dot. You got to work your ass off. That's where I gain respect for you. So if you're working hard every day, now you have an opinion in my eyes. But if you're just a guy who talks shit and you live this life of talking shit, come on, dude. I understand one thing. You're just talking shit. But if I see you every day of your life trying to be better, every day, going through all the wickets to be better, you got my attention. I respect you now. People have talent, and this is going beyond your talent. When there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once their talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. That whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. And they realize, man, why am I always messing up right here? It's because you're performing to your talent. And then after that, your mind has nothing for you. I see fighters, I see runners, I see people who they're great, but they get to the edge of their talent. It's like, man, what's up? Because you're now at the point now where your talent ain't gonna do shit for you, my friend. Now it's the mental game. And that's where people get lost in life, get lost in that next level. And that next level is found for me in the things that I do. I did to get to where I'm at today was alone, out there running in cold and heat, suffering in pools, trying to swim, at home in a room by myself, trying to teach myself how to read and write, how to study. You know, no one saw that. There was no video camera, there was no podcast, there was no who's David Goggins. It was me. Just for me trying to get in the military. Everybody can do. It's easy. Just trying to learn how to read and write was something that blows Rocky away. Because I'm proud of what I created. I'm more proud of I created it without an audience, without a cheering squad, without someone like, come on, man, you got it, you can do it. You know who you are. Then there's no motherfucker out there when they're running. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to. You may have a best friend you're going to. But there's 24 hours in a day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways. And it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. We have a lot more than we think we have. And all I did was I picked up that shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders, and they may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you. But going through this path of life, this journey over here, a lot of us are going through hell. Maybe not as bad as me, maybe worse than me. But they don't know how to express it because we're supposed to live in a world where we have to talk a certain way. We have to walk a certain way. We have to act a certain way. A kinder, gentler world. Nothing gets handled in that world. You stay stuck in that world. You stay in a world of things will get better because someone said they would, and I need to find peace. No, you need to go to war with yourself, man. At the end of that war, you'll sit back all damaged and bruised and scarred up and stuff, and maybe your psoas has muscles so tight that you may lose 2 inches on your body. Who knows? But then after the war, you're going to sit back on a couch, maybe have a glass of water, you drink a beer. The war may be 30 years, but when it ends, you will know what it's all about then. And then you'll find your peace. You'll find your peace then. But until then, you'll always be searching to find that nice, kind book that guides you beyond all your personal suffering, that miracles your ass to peace. It doesn't happen, man, but you're just scratching the surface of real life. Think about it, man. I talk about my book, Open-Mindedness. What separates me from a lot of people is they go into a daunting task, and the task is overwhelming. Like, when I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking this record, people are like, oh my God. I went right to a pen and paper. Like, what are you doing? I'm doing the math, man. What are you talking about? I'm open-minded to the fact that, okay, if I do 5 pull-ups in a minute for so many hours, I can get so many pull-ups in. How much time do I have to rest? I was breaking the math down. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen. So that's why my eyes and my body light up about things, because I know that if you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you. That's what I realized. I was never breaking the soul of anything in front of me. So that's why I came up with this thing called Taking Souls in my book. I don't follow people who talk about what they used to do in life. I don't give what you used to do. I don't care that, you used to be the best mother. I don't care. What are you doing today? You may not be that person now, but what are you still doing to try to excel in life? And a lot of people now are talking. I hear so much talk. I don't hear a lot of work. I hear a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, how you should be living. And I look at them and you're fat, you're out of shape, you look like but you're telling them how to live. No, man, I won't listen to you. There's so many people speaking this, and that's what bothered me a lot in the military. There's a lot of people talking. I don't see the real suffering behind it, behind what you're saying. That's why everybody said, man, you talk with so much passion because it's a real place. It sucks to get up in the morning time. It was raining like cats and dogs. I don't want to get my shoes on and go run. But guess what? I got my shoes on and ran. If you want to be great, you want to be the best mother ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. It takes every second of your life. You have to be quiet in your mind. Get away from people. We love being around people. We love talking. We love parties. We love all that. It's okay to be alone. It's also okay to be unhappy. I put my phone away. I put it away and I go dark. I go dark a lot, and it's because I have to find out. I'm on a journey of life, and we all have a different journey. And I want to be in my pine box, and I believe your spirit lives forever. It has to. It's too powerful. No way in hell that thing just dies when we die. I want to be able to look back on my life when I'm all dead and be so proud of myself forever. This is all temporary to me. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy. I want to be proud. If I die now, I want to look at myself and say, proud of myself. It's okay to be unhappy sometimes, man. It's okay to say, you know what, man, fucked up. So you gotta go to the truth first. Who are you? Get really accountable and say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out. It may take months, it may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. I'm trying to find more of myself. And the only way I can find more is to silence the world out as much as I can, because it's getting busier every day. It's getting faster. You have to go dark. You have to be quiet in your mind. Get away from people. We love being around people. We love talking. We love parties. We love all that. But you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you got to open them up. You got to open up and fight that demon. Get in there, talk to that mother. So you got to go to the truth first. Who are you? Get really accountable and say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out. It may take months. It may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. And then from there, okay, I have a purpose. It's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron and James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot when it comes to this pure on guts and willpower and get through. People think that my knees are bad from a lot of and they're wrong. I wasn't born healthy. I wasn't born with some great body alignment, some great, I have sickle cell, I have all kind of health issues. I had a choice to make. And the choice was, growing up, okay, this hurts, that hurts. We can just sit down and do nothing. Or we can see how far we can push the human body. So on that journey, as I started getting more and more into my mind and start realizing that what I'm capable of doing, my mind got stronger. So the pain in my knees, while it sucked, I've been doing it for so long. It was like it became my new norm. Like, okay, my knees hurt, and I call it like stop feeling sorry for yourself, but you sometimes have to ignore your feelings. For me, I made a decision, and my decision was to be the best person I could. I basically, a lot of mornings I wake up and say, f your feelings. And that doesn't mean don't take it literally, f your feelings. But guess what? I wanted to run. And I knew that, okay, you can get knee replacements, this and that. Like I said, it wasn't because I ran too much. People always want to say, oh man, you ran so much so you f your body. You don't want to be like David Goggins. I hear it all the time. You don't be like David Goggins. I studied the darkness. You find no answers in the light. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. And we don't need to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself there. Life will take you there. But when you get into those dark moments, that's what people, how are you able to write like this, man? I go into such places in my mind and I study the darkness. Like, it's not just physical. When I was growing up and I saw my mom getting beaten, I got beat. And I was some stuttering little black kid in an all-white school, and I'm on stage and I gotta say one line in front of 15 people, and I walk off stage kind of can stutter. All those insecurities and all those things, man, I used to go home and cry. And I'm like, God, man, hang on, man. As I got older, we got to study. The only way we're going to get through this is if we study. So every time I'm in a dark moment and life's up around me, whether it be physical or just life, I get in it, man, with the pen and paper. I'm like, okay, this sucks. I can feel like I'm losing my shit. Let's go study this. You can't fit discipline into that. You can't fit structure. You can't fit consistency. You can't fit the grind. And then when you try, it just gets overrun by the clutter in your mental garage. I have this haunting voice in the back of my head. A lot of us have it. We just ignore it. And it was there for years. So I knew in the back of my mind that I could pull off this whatever I wanted. I knew I could. I knew that, but I was afraid of the work because I wasn't gifted with brains. I wasn't gifted with God-given talent as far as like athleticism. So I knew to get to where I had to go, to be on the same playing field as these men, to even try out for this program, I knew the work was going to be something that I didn't want to even attack. So I would just put it off. It haunted me. That's what I realized for myself was I wanted that comfort zone. that everybody looks for, that pat on the back. They don't want to hear all the bad. They want to hear everything that they're doing right. And I realized that's what kept me in this world. That's what kept me in this world of not accomplishing anything. What I did was I became that big, bad, nasty that you don't want to walk into at nighttime. I became the roughest critic in the world on myself. And that's what changed me. I literally saw myself in the mirror. I saw the truth versus saying, my dad did this to me from beating me. My life did this to me. My broken foundation did this to me. I took that and said, you know what? Well, some people may help this happen, but now I have to own this. When you quit, your mind does this. Once you say, I'm not going to quit, this is the 40%. When you quit, your mind says, we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving. So we got to expand. We got to grow. We got to figure this thing out. So then these compartments in your brain start to work. They have to work. And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. But you can't engage it by sitting back in these nice chairs, drinking this nice water, talking to you, talking about what I want to do. So that's where the 40% thing comes in. It comes in when you're in suffer mode and you say, I'm not going to quit. You're forcing your brain now to operate on a level it's not used to, but then it becomes used to. In times of need, even the hardest person forgets how badass they are. So I've been through a lot in my life. When you're going through a hard time right now, you forget all the hard time you endured. So the cookie jar is a reminder that, I can get through this hard time right now, but you got to take a second or two to reach into the mental cookie jar. You got to open up and say, okay, man, I was in 3 hell weeks and I got through 2 of them. I was in ranger school. I saw these beatings. My mom's soon-to-be husband got murdered. I saw a little kid's head get ran over. All these things I endured alone. I have to remind myself of the strength and the power that I have, that it's in me. It's just a reminder of how badass you are in hard times, because we just forget that bad time consumes our mind and we forget who we are. I always fix the things on the surface. If I couldn't read and write, I learned to read and write. I would always fix these things on the surface level. And so whenever something hard would raise its ugly head, I didn't have any kind of tools to handle it. Like, man, I thought I fixed this already, man. But no, I didn't go deep into the dungeon of my soul to say, okay, what is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? That's why I kept on quitting and going back to start, or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I always tell people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study, I didn't study a book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. You put a sword in the fire repeatedly and repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're going to get a nice sword. And then you keep on beating it. You got to beat the shit out of it. And that's what I am.
Yeah.
I became that. I said, okay, you can't quit. You got to figure out what is wrong with you. What's going on here? So I kept on putting the sword back in the daggone fire, and I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man, the brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard.
What spurred me for a lot of people is they go into an duty task, and the task is overwhelming, like when pull up record for 2020 pull ups, and I was thinking about breaking this record. People are like, oh my god, I want right to a pen and paper. They go, I am doing the month man. What I am open minded to the fact that, okay, if I do 5 pull-ups in the minute I can get showing pull-up in how much time do I have to rest. I was breaking the myth down. You have to be open minded to the possibility that I can do this. Once you shoot your mind down that it can be achieved, there's so way it can happen, so that way my eyes and my body light up about things, cause I know that if you are ill, if it you have a attract, you have to keep attacking. That enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break is in first. That was I was never breaking the soul of anything. So that thing called taking soul in my book. I didn't for people who they used to do in life.